Hello, my loves, and welcome back to Along This Spiritual Journey. So, I've talked about perfectionism before, but not so much in the spiritual aspect, where wanting to be the most perfect soul can be good and draining, right? In the beginning of my journey, I thought that I was supposed to dress a certain way and eat a certain way and speak a certain way and pray a certain way and meditate a certain way and read certain books a certain way. Like, I literally thought I had to be this disciplined student who was taking in all this information so I could become this enlightened individual. That's not what it's about. Not in the least. These are all tools to help you get to your center. These are all things that help you understand what you want this journey to be for you, right? I have learned that perfectionism is not a bad thing. It has its dualistic properties, of course. There's burnout, there's the fear of failing, there's, overly judging others or being critical. That's the negative side of perfectionism. But the positive side of perfectionism is wanting to get something right, wanting to learn because you want to understand and you want to get it as close to whatever complete package you've seen it represent to that, right? It's the same as like if you're cooking and the head chef, they make the one plate and now the sous chef and the prep cooks, they have to replicate it over and over and over and over, right? It's just a level of discipline. That's it. Meditation is a level of discipline. Chanting and prayers is a level of discipline. All of these things are meant to help you perfect a journey that's crafted for your experience here on this earth, not to repeat it exactly the way others are doing it. Again, there's nothing wrong with sharing community and sharing words and sharing like minds, but you are still an individual who is meant to experience this journey alone because you are alone. We are connected, but we are still physically alone until we go out and integrate with others. Spiritually, it's the same thing. There's always a soul connection, which is again why this app is what it is, because we can go relate to others who spiritually, emotionally, mentally feel the same way as us, right? When you can recognize that it's about opening yourself up to new possibilities and not trying to be the perfect student or the perfect teacher, it makes this journey so much easier, right? A lot of the times, even myself, I still do this where I'm like, what am I here for? What am I doing? And in my mind, my mind is like, you're just here to exist and create. And in my heart, it's like, you're just here to be you. And so trying to find a way to meet the mind and the heart has been a level of discipline that I've perfected for myself. Again, there's no way to really say you're supposed to get to this place, but it is about coherence, letting the two communicate without the ego interfering, right? This is the part of my perfectionism journey that I had to learn how to let go. When the ego starts telling me how I need to do something and why I need to do something, even though my heart is not into it, that's when it's like time to step back and reflect, right? That's when it's like, Juwan, this is not who you are. Remember, Juwan is me, but Jah is my soul. So when I'm speaking to you guys, Jah is talking to you, and Juwan is just interpreting the information. At least that's how I look at it. Again, even part of this journey, it took me a long time to learn how to trust which voice was which, because Juwan don't care. Juwan will do whatever he wants to do, but Jah actually thinks it through. Jah actually wants to figure out why things are the way they are and how to correct past life behaviors, past life experiences, whatever they might be. And then we can correlate it back to our existence on this human plane now. I have no idea that my life will become is what it is now, but I've always had a drive to speak. I've always had an urge to create. I've always had this urge to be out front in front of people, even though my ego does not really enjoy being in front of people, but my soul craves to share information. So I had to learn how to put myself out there. I had to learn how to understand when you put yourself out there, it is not about being perfect. It is not about doing it right the first time, because most people won't do anything right the first time. They might get something right that looks good to others, but it doesn't mean that they know what they're doing, right? That's like the luck of the draw. So it's about taking the time to understand and again, take into consideration the type of journey you want to create. It can be an easy breezy one, or it can be a very dark and heavy one. You're still not going to get away from shadow work. You're still not going to get away from trauma. But if you understand that this journey is for you, and how you then interpret that journey and share it is how you're going to call like energy back in that is more aligned to the life that you want to exist in. Most of the time when we talk about spirituality, we talk about it as this concept that's intangible, but every single day you wake up and speak. Speaking is a spiritual exchange of information, right? If I sit there mute, you have no idea what I'm thinking. So for me to open my mouth and speak and share what I'm feeling is something that I had to learn how to do without hindering myself from speaking, without trying to put blockages up, right? Because there's a lot of times where my perfectionism kicks in. I'm like, that don't sound right. That don't look good. I don't like that. This video, I tried to do 3 times, but they're out there doing lawn work and they kept doing the chainsaw and everything else. And I'm like, I want to get this done. But then I had to remember, you're choosing to share this information. There's no rush. You have plenty of time to remake this video when the people are done doing what they have to do, right? It's the same thing in life. It's the same thing in emotions. You're not going to always be able to control the situation or the outcome, but you can monitor yourself and how you interact within this realm. My spirituality aspect of it is when you can trust the intuition part, that gut feeling that's like, this feels right, this doesn't feel right. That is what breaks the perfectionism streak in my mind. Because again, perfectionism is not a bad thing, but it has its dual aspects of wanting to always be good at something because you need validation versus just being good at something because you just like that it's done right and now it's there for others to use and enjoy. This is how I now approach life. Most of the times when we talk about trying to get over who we used to be and what we were, again, you're not discarding yourself completely. Yes, you can kill off that energy of who you used to be and the thinking patterns that got you to a negative and dark place, but you're still going to have dark moments. You're still going to have sadness. You're still going to have things where you're just not happy the way it looks or how it comes to you. But when you understand that, you again decide how you're going to spiritually feel about something is how you emotionally then interpret that energy. Because spiritually, I can be spiteful, but emotionally, I'm like, that's not who I am, right? So now my spirituality and my emotions have to meet in the middle and say, well, what can we do to get over this moment so I don't go off on this person? And I say, go listen to music, go color, go on a walk, whatever you need to do to get your place back into your spiritual kingdom, right? You deserve to sit on that throne and know who you are because you work to get there. It's not going to be a perfect journey, but it is your journey. And understanding how you get there is going to be how you understand how to stay there. Don't just do it just because, do it because it's something you love, all right? I hope this one makes sense. Love ya.